I think it's important that we talk about how the intelligence community in and of itself is biased based on that individual's programming, just their own internal programming. Like myself, I've been programmed. So I've joined the military in 2006. I was 18 years old. I was just out of high school. I came from like a very poor, upbringing. I didn't have money for college. That was why I joined. I knew I wanted to go to college. I'm the first person in my family to get a bachelor's degree. My parents didn't even graduate high school. So you can imagine, like, this was the card that I was dealt to choose. And I didn't travel to any other countries. You know, all I knew about, Islam and terrorists and was what I learned in basic training. And that's when the brainwashing begins, because they teach you to, think that anyone that looks like someone from the Middle East or speaks like someone from the Middle East is a terrorist. So it's like, even in the intelligence community, you have people who are programmed to believe this. So when, let's say I get an intelligence report from someone on the ground, like you did HUMIT. So someone on the ground created this intelligence report. I may be reading it and it says this individual was an associate of Hamas. And so in my mind, my program mind, I'm like, well, surely if the word associate must mean that they are also guilty. But the reality is that person on the ground could have the word associate could mean that the guy went by bread from the cousin of a commander that is in the Hamas political group. So we only see these words and take it at face value, when the reality is that person could be totally innocent of anything else. They were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, spoke to the wrong person. They didn't know. I mean, so even in the intelligence community, you have people who are believing, what Israel is saying, because Israel is really providing a lot of intelligence to our community, our intelligence community. And you already know their reports are totally biased. So we have our own intelligence community that really needs to go through their own awakening of what's happening. So yeah, it's screwed across the board.
Yeah, it's the entire culture as well. And when you obviously you got out slightly before the October 7th kicked off, but you still have contacts and you still have friends within that sector. What are their views? People aren't a monolith.
I feel like there are people that are on different pages of things. I have some friends that work at the Pentagon now that are active duty that feel like I need to keep, pushing this movement forward, bringing awareness. They think what I'm doing is great. They're obviously under certain regulations that they can't speak out, because when you are active duty, you can face severe punishment for speaking out against the government, against the military, and so forth. So they are chained, in handcuffs almost, to really speak out against what they're seeing. But then I have some other, former colleagues, like I was mentioning to you before we started this, is that truly believe in their core and in their brainwashing that what is happening is because of Hamas, that children dying is collateral damage, and that, everything that we're seeing is because of extremists in the Middle East. So, I'm really getting it from both ends. Obviously, you can imagine that it's really disheartening for me as someone who sees babies being bombed daily, to have conversations with people that I've known for years and years, and just trying to tell them the truth and just being met with such roadblocks. It just is so disheartening. It makes me reflect back to the moments that people may have tried talking to me in my career, to try and tell me the truth. And I just was like, not ready to hear it, you know?
I mean, I think for me, well, the thing where I started to question everything that was going on was the drone strike policy in Afghanistan, because my sister was in college at the time, and she's like, "You're in JSOC. Like, what the hell are you guys doing over there?" I was like, "No, it's fine. Like, all these kinetic strikes are cleared by JAG, which is Judge Advocate General. They're lawyers." But as we talked about, like how intelligence gets interpreted. I would do like a human intelligence collection report or like SSC report, which would say like this was this guy's associate. Then it would get sent up to you, the analyst, to kind of work it into the intelligence synchronization process, refine it, analyze it, interpret it, then present it. And by the time it gets to the lawyer to clear the kinetic strike, it's utter crap. It could be like anything. Yes. And so we know
Yes.
we were killing a lot of innocent people. But Obama's policy was like, when in doubt, send a hellfire. So that's kind of, and I'm kind of dumbfounded that people that had the same access to the same information, that did the same thing that I did, don't see it that way.
Yeah, I think there's still, a lot of awakening that needs to happen within our country. Because of censorship. I mean, it's so controlled. It's so incredibly controlled. I feel like there's still a lot of awakening that needs to happen. That's just the bottom line at all levels, whether you are a blue collar worker, a welder, a guy that works at the post office, or someone that works for a defense contractor like Booz Allen or Mantech, or fill in the blank. Every area, in every corner of our country, people are still needing to truly wake up to the reality of what's going on, the bias that we are seeing. And I think that's the only way we're truly going to take it down, the corruption down to its knees, is to continue to have those awakening moments where there's enough people, there's enough like the masses are out protesting. There are like 40, 50 people at local city councils every meeting saying, we want you to create a resolution, sign a resolution at my local city council and send it to the governor. Until these things really start happening, I don't know how we're going to bring this corruption to its knees. As far as what's going on in the Middle East right now, I don't see the two parties being able to come to a resolution themselves. There is going to have to be some sort of third party involvement in order to stop this. And it's not going to be the United States. That's just like the bottom line of it.